376. Recently, I attended a seminar by one of the biggest corporations in the world. I was shocked to discover that the slides that were used during the presenter's speech were difficult to read from the sides of the room and even at the back. It is a simple rule to remember really. If you are using slides or charts, make sure that they can be read and seen by everyone in the room. But at this seminar, most attendees had to squint their eyes and use their smartphone cameras to zoom in and click photographs of each slide so that they could see what was written on it later. (377) Recharge your batteries after every major public speaking gig. A lot of wind gets taken out of your sails after all-day seminars and conferences. There is a lot of positive energies sapped out of you, which are in turn replaced by negative energies of people you mingled with and spoke to at that particular gig. It becomes crucial to your mental well-being to take a break after long gigs so that you can unwind, relax, chill out and recharge your batteries around the positive forces of nature. These positive forces of nature help us become positive, relaxed and fully charged up once again. You can download the audiobook Positive Forces of Nature from osovo.com, that's OSOVO.com, to know what the positive forces of nature are and how they can help you reduce stress, increase positivity and be totally relaxed in your life. (378) Don't just read from your notes unless you really have to. Especially don't read from your notes if you have been paid to speak in front of an audience. The audience consists of real people with real emotions. People who have taken out some of their valuable time from their busy schedule just to be present in the audience, listen to you speak and perhaps take home something of value from what you share with them that day. Manuscript speeches are best used when you really have no other option or simply cannot afford to make even a single mistake in the words that you speak. 379. Visualizing how you will be making your speech to your audience is a wonderful way to both practice your speech and pep yourself up before the big day. Think about how you are going to say your speech again and again and again. You can do this by laying down in a quiet place with your eyes closed. Then visualize yourself speaking to your audience, saying exactly what you want to say, delivering the exact same speech you will be sharing with them in the near future on that specific day. Daydreaming and visualization are nice ways to analyze your performance, work on certain aspects of your speech based on this analysis and pep yourself up before you actually go out there and deliver your speech. 380. When speaking in a small room with less people in the audience, it is wise to move around a lot lesser, since moving about too much in such a small space can cause the audience to lose interest in your speech quickly, as they quickly get tired of following your movements with their eyes. Besides, in a smaller room, it's easier to maintain eye contact from the center of your speaking area. You don't really need to work that hard on connecting with your audience when the room is small and contains lesser audience members compared to a much larger room with dozens of people in the audience. 381. Be mentally alert and brain ready before your speech. You can do this by consuming some almonds, walnuts, or protein-rich food. Tyrosine, an amino acid found in proteins, contains dopamine and epinephrine, which is really good to increase your brain fitness for the next few hours. So make sure you eat properly and well before every speech. But please don't eat anything just before your speech. Your meals must be consumed at least an hour before your speech starts, preferably 2 hours or more earlier. Another great way to increase your focus and concentration is through meditation. I spend a good 2 to 3 hours on meditation every single day of my life. It has numerous benefits for me. It really helps me focus on my speech more when I've meditated for half an hour before I speak. (382) The only way that you can convince an audience that you are the real deal, an expert in your field, is by sharing your personal opinion on the things that you speak about. You should have practiced your speech over 15 times so that you appear natural, confident, and relaxed throughout your speech. Giving the audience information that highlights you as an expert makes them take you all the more seriously. Everyone likes receiving valuable information, but that information becomes even more valuable to them when it's spoken and shared with them by an expert in that particular field. (383) A spiritual speaker once shared a big secret with me. He said that he would make his own people sit in the front row of the audience, and they were well trained to applaud his speech after every few sentences that he spoke. He would even take it one step further and ask his audience for a donation to support his cause. When he would do this, the front row members, his own people, would come onto the stage and give him lots of money from their wallets, pockets, and purses. Seeing this, many others in the audience, the real ones, would come onto the stage and give him a donation as well. What I learned from this was that we can easily win over the whole audience if we can win over the front row people first. (384) The way you live your life has a direct bearing on your success as a public speaker. If you are involved in the rat race, living paycheck to paycheck, running from pillar to post, always stressed out, worrying a lot, or constantly in a hurry, then perhaps it is time you slow down, take a long break, and plan your life a whole lot better. We all have exactly 168 hours in a week. You can dramatically enhance the quality of your life and your public speaking skills by making the most of these 168 hours each week. You can be at your best all the time if you manage your time better. You can download my audiobook on time management from osovo.com to learn more about how you can achieve this in a matter of weeks. (385) Some pointers for you to keep in mind while you deliver your speech are: 1. Maintain focus. 2. Stick to your main points. 3. Restrict matters that have no real relevance to your speech content. 4. Recap and summarize your main points before you end your speech. 5. Take questions if time permits and clarify any doubts of the audience. 6. Avoid the ones in the audience who aren't paying attention. Focus instead on those that are. 7. You can't control your audience. You can only control yourself. 8. Maintain eye contact with each person present in the audience. 9. Take your time in concluding your speech well. 10. Don't be in a hurry to leave. 386. Speak in public often. The more you speak in public, the better you will become as a public speaker. This is a tip I've mentioned a few times before. It's natural to improve a skill or talent purely through constant practice of the same. Over the years, I've observed myself getting better and better as a public speaker. It directly connects with the number of times I've spoken in public. There is no other reason that I attribute my growing effectiveness to. The more I speak, the better I am getting. This probably happens because of more and more fine-tuning of my public speaking voice, hand gestures, eye contact, facial expressions, and other body movements. I am able to prepare a lot faster thanks to my massive experience in public speaking. 387. Sometimes public speakers have the strange tendency of taking too many pauses during their speech and then taking some extra long pauses after every few sentences delivered. These pauses are not the usual kind. These aren't 2-second pauses. These are more like 6-second pauses. This is a really long time to pause. In my humble opinion, long pauses act as a distraction rather than a helpful element in your speech. You pause too long and you risk losing many members of your audience by the end of your performance. Speak slowly rather than taking long pauses of 6 seconds or more. The only reason to take such a long pause is to have a sip of water or take a little break. 388. Eye contact is a wonderful aspect of our expressions that we can use to connect well with our audience. Make eye contact with each and every person in the room right at the start of your speech. Doing this ensures that you connect with each audience member. It gives them the opportunity to look directly at you, see the real you, while you quickly make them feel important by acknowledging their presence with your eyes. An experienced public speaker who makes constant eye contact well at the start itself makes the audience think that he or she is a warm, friendly, confident person who knows exactly what he or she wants to share with them. 389. Public speaking is a learned skill. You can easily become a good public speaker by practicing your public speaking skills on a daily or regular basis. However, having said this, just being a good public speaker is not enough. You can become a great public speaker only when you meet your speech objectives. You win over your audience not by your public speaking skills alone, but by giving them something interesting, new, different, and useful to listen to. You can either entertain your crowd and go back home with a chuckle, or you can win over your entire audience by sharing something valuable and useful with them. 390. A powerful breathing exercise that is good for conditioning our voice is to first form your mouth to the shape of a shish consonant. That's shh. Then slowly push the air out through your mouth. Do this as slowly as you can. The flow of air must be perfectly even. The idea is to control the air as it is used. Repeat this for 5 minutes at a time. Do this twice a day. Once you do this for 2 weeks, you will be able to control the air so that you can project your voice easily in a much larger space. You will have a better command over your voice as well. but you have to do this breathing exercise daily in order to gain this kind of control. $391. You just cannot win them all. There are always going to be members in your audience who aren't happy with what you are speaking about. Some people just want to leave. It might have nothing to do with you or what you are speaking about. People are just too busy in the modern, chaotic world that we live in. Our attention spans are too short. So don't expect to see your entire audience consisting of happy faces when you speak. There are always going to be some unhappy, bored faces as well. The trick is to focus on the happy faces. And if they don't exist, simply focus on your message. Use all that negativity to spur you on to make the best speech you ever made in your entire life. $392. Many trainees and listeners have asked me how do I practice speeches that are longer than 1 hour in duration. Today I am answering this question so that it helps you understand how easy it can be to deliver long speeches. I love long speeches. I always start my preparation of long speeches weeks in advance. My preparation time is invested in first researching the topic well and the audience, writing down enough content to last me the duration of the speech, then refining that content before I focus on my practice sessions. During practice, my entire focus is on fixing my speech content in my mind and delivering it to the best of my abilities. I use my note cards during my practice rounds. I also dress up in the same clothes that I'll be wearing on the big day and also time my speech well. $393. As a professional public speaker and guest lecturer, I usually take along my assistant for all my public speaking assignments. I do this mainly to have someone that I can have around me whenever I quickly need something. I also do this because I find it most important to check my voice before my speech starts. I send my assistant to the back of the room to check if my voice is audible enough before I start my presentation. The audience doesn't mind me doing this sound check before my speech as it shows them that I mean business and I'm someone who's done this hundreds of times before. I care about my audience. I want them to hear every single word that I speak. $394. Invest in your personal improvement. Keeping aside 30 minutes a day is a great way to start in developing certain aspects of your personality. Take up various aspects of yourself that you'd like to work upon. Make a list of things that you'd like to learn. Then allocate your daily 30 minutes to do these items on your list. A few topics that you could start off with are goal setting, grooming skills, dining etiquette, smartphone manners, brain fitness, observation skills, effective listening, memory improvement, anger management, stress management, etc. You will find audiobooks related to some important personal development topics on osovo.com. That's osovo.com. $395. Know the purpose of your speech every single time that you speak. Make sure you know what the objective of your speech is or what you hope to achieve by the end of your speech. Speaking without a clear purpose to guide you is like walking down the streets at night without the street lights to guide you. What's more, when you have a definite purpose, then you can proceed to write content that can fulfill that purpose and win over your audience. I believe that every speech has a definite purpose. It's just that you need to sit down and write what the purpose of your speech is. Everything else comes after knowing your exact speech purpose. 396. We speak impromptu a lot in daily life. In fact, I can almost guarantee that you speak without preparation more than 96% of the time. How do I know this? Well, because I've actually carried out an intensive study with 120 trainees over a span of 6 months to figure this one out fully. I observed through my studies that whatever we speak is actually an impromptu speech because we don't spend time preparing a speech before we answer a question anyone poses to us. Let's say a friend asks you what you think about the weather. Chances are you don't need to write down a speech to practice it first before you answer your friend. Once you realize that you speak impromptu all the time, you will actually figure out what I already know, that we are all born public speakers. 397. When a speaker avoids eye contact with his or her audience, then he or she is probably nervous, less confident, might be hiding something, has a sly demeanor, or isn't well prepared. When a member of the audience looks at the speaker with dilated pupils, which means the eyeballs of that person grow a bit in size, then it means that that audience member is greatly interested in the speaker or what is being said. Likewise, when audience members blink a lot of times when the speaker says something, then it means that the member does not like what was just said and disagrees with it. 398. A very important thing that I do before I speak to my audience is that I visit the washroom, look into the mirror, smile at myself, wash my face, wipe it dry with a hand towel I carry just for this purpose, then look at myself again in the mirror, smile at myself again, then walk out confidently to the speaking room to deliver my speech to my audience in a confident and relaxed state of mind. It just takes a minute or two to perform this confidence boosting exercise. Yet, I don't see too many speakers do it. I don't know why. 399. Hand gestures are important in public speaking. The right usage of your hands will certainly enhance the effectiveness of your speech. It is often best to keep both your hands at waist level while you stand and speak, or rest them gently upon the podium. It is easy to express yourself when your hands are right in front of you at the waist. You can easily display open hand gestures while speaking to your audience, thereby demonstrating that you are full of confidence as you speak to them. You can stand in front of a mirror and practice your hand gestures in the privacy of your own home. Doing so will help you gesture effectively and naturally during your next few speeches. 400. I have been asked to answer an interesting question on quite a few occasions. So, I am sharing the same question here and answering it once again so that you can benefit from the same. The question that I have been asked to answer is how to wake up the members of the audience that have fallen asleep or are distracted due to some other reason. My answer is always the same. Pause. Yes, just pause for a few seconds. Maybe 5 seconds. Then continue with your speech. Pause once again for 5 seconds. Then continue with your speech. It's amazing How those that are distracted or asleep quickly start paying attention and wake up when they realize that your speech might have ended. It's a simple brain trickery tip that always works.